It is the autumn of 1888. London, under Queen Victoria's reign, has become a city in terror. In the East End, the district of Whitechapel is a bleak labyrinth of overcrowded lodging houses, narrow alleys, and Dickensian squalor. Beneath the flicker of gas lamps, human misery flourishes. Immigrants, workers, and the very poorest dwell side by side. Their lives are defined by poverty, cramped quarters, disease, and by the turn of the gaslit corner fear. Think of a nightly population of 500 souls, crammed into common lodging houses, sleeping side by side on rope bunks or dimly lit dormitories. Here, desperation is routine, and for many women, prostitution becomes a means of survival. The East End is London's most dangerous slum, described at the time as the foulest and most criminal rookery. It ripples with theft, violence, and endless need. Into this grim backdrop emerges a figure who defined horror itself: Jack the Ripper. In 1888, a gruesome wave of murders erupted 5 canonical victims: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Each woman was found savagely mutilated, their throats slashed, organs missing a chilling signature of anatomical knowledge, and a killer operating with brutal efficiency. Amid the panic and fervor lurked something else: words. Letters signed with the name Jack the Ripper began arriving at newspapers and police offices. Each missive carried taunts, threats, cryptic intelligence. Some even came with grotesque tokens. They triggered a media firestorm, launched urban legends, gave rise to the icon of a killer who may never have existed. In this episode of Letters That Never Arrived, we will examine 3 of those infamous letters. 1. The Dear Boss letter, the origin of the name Jack the Ripper. 2. The Saucy Jackie postcard, taunting the so-called double event and mutilations. 3. The From Hell letter, the most macabre of all, sent with half a preserved human kidney. For each, we'll read the full original text, followed by analysis, authenticity, clues, impact, and finally, we'll reflect on how these letters' mere pages left a legacy that no weapon could deliver. They are letters that shaped history, never reaching their intended recipients, yet echoing forever in London's darkest memory. Letter 1. Dear Boss.
I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about Leather Apron gave me real fits. I am down on whores and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled. Grand work the last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Don't mind me giving the trade name PS. Wasn't good enough to post this before I got all the red ink off my hands. Curse it, no luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Haha.
Analysis 1. This is the first known letter that introduced the name Jack the Ripper, arriving at the Central News Agency on September 27, 1888. It captured public attention, especially when, just days later, Catherine Eddowes was found with part of her ear, removed in eerie fulfillment of the writer's promise to clip the lady's ears off. Many historians now believe it was likely a hoax, perhaps penned by journalists aiming to keep public interest high. In fact, a journalist named Fred Best allegedly admitted in 1931 that he and a colleague created the letter and postcard to sell more papers. Still, Forensic linguistics in recent studies found compelling evidence linking this letter and the Saucy Jackie postcard to a single author, suggesting a pattern too consistent to ignore. Although likely a constructed piece, the Dear Boss letter's impact was irrevocable. It gave the killer a name and allowed the legend to take root. Letterstein, Saucy Jackie postcard.
I was not caughting dear old boss when I gave you the tip. You'll hear about Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow. Double event. This time number 1. Squealed a bit. Couldn't finish straight off. Had not time to get ears off for police. Thanks for keeping last letter back till I got to work again. Jack the Ripper.
Analysis 2. Postmarked October 1, 1888. This postcard refers explicitly to the double event, the murders of Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes on September 30. The writer admits he couldn't finish severing the ears of one victim in time. Those details gave the note eerie credibility. Again, many authorities suspect journalists manufactured these communications, yet others argue that such accurate details before they were publicly known might suggest genuine involvement or inside knowledge. This postcard reinforced the persona Saucy Jackie and further entranced the public with the audacity of the taunting voice. Letter 3. From Hell.
From hell. Mr. Lusk, sore. I send you half the kidney I took from one woman, preserved it for you. T'other piece I fried and ate, it was very nice. I may send you the bloody niff that took it out if you only wait a will longer. Signed, catch me when you can, Mr. Lusk.
Analysis 3. Postmarked October 15, 1888. Was delivered to George Lusk of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee, accompanied by half a preserved human kidney. Medical examination confirmed it was human, possibly from Catherine Eddowes. Unlike the other notes, its tone is primitive. Spelling errors and the crude style raise questions of authenticity. For some, this marks its credibility, perhaps. Genuine madness, not hoax. Indeed, some forensic analysts suggest it may be the only authentically from the Ripper due to these anomalies. Casebook, Jack the Ripper forums. Whether a sick hoax or horrifying truth, From Hell remains the most visceral and horrifying letter associated with the case. Final section. The letters end here, but their echoes reverberate through time. Jack the Ripper, the name from Dear Boss, the taunts from Saucy Jackie, the kidney from Hell, became part of London's darkest folklore. The killer was never caught. The crimes lasted only months, but terror lingered for years. The East End remained a place of suspicion and fear, where every shadow could conceal a monster. Press exploitation of the case foreshadowed modern media sensationalism. Over 0 letters poured into Scotland Yard, mostly hoaxes, but enough to distort investigations and cloud truth. Whitechapel today bears little resemblance to that past polished streets, gentrified lodgings, but the murders and letters live on, preserved in lore, fiction, academia. Museums study them, TV series retell them. The Ripper remains an uncatchable legend. These 3 letters, 3 brief notes, are not murder accounts, nor warrants of guilt, yet each changed the narrative. They turned the perpetrator into an icon. They shaped public fear, historic memory, and the course of criminal folklore. And here's the cruelest echo. Though no letter reached its true intended audience, the killer was never identified. The victims are silent. Those scraps of paper survived. In the hands of historians, writers, curious audiences, they found new life. Perhaps the greatest legacy of Jack the Ripper is a warning that words, once written, can outlive worlds. Even in death, the voice of terror gained immortality. Even if the letters were fake, their effect was real and remains today. In the end, these were letters that never arrived where intended, but arrived nonetheless into history, into legend, and into our nightmares.